There's a lot going on with the IRS and finding ways to keep the richest Americans from paying much in the way of taxes at all. And the thing about the richest Americans is that, and the richest people who are here in this country making money, is they're also loaded up with very expensive lawyers, most of whom can navigate the complex world of taxes. Also, most of whom can deal with the GSers, the government employees who occupy the IRS and are assigned with taking down some of the big money that's associated with all those very wealthy people who owe taxes. So you end up with, and this is one of the things that the Trump administration did the last time, they took money away from that division of the IRS that was directed to nail billionaires and 100 millionaires with taxes. So you can skate on your taxes if you're super wealthy, because essentially Trump took away the arm of the IRS that was loaded with IRS agents and investigators who were going to go after it. So, meantime, IRS is saying that it has recovered $1.3 billion in unpaid taxes from rich Americans, which is extraordinary.
What?
They said that they have recovered all of this from high-income Americans who had either failed to file their returns or who hadn't paid what they owed. This announcement was made jointly with the U.S. Treasury Department, and it aimed at highlighting the agency's ramped-up enforcement efforts against tax cheats. So this new effort, you're saying, well, I thought you just said that, they took away the money. They did, until that Inflation Reduction Act in 2022. So Biden's Inflation Reduction Act reinvigorated that part of the IRS that was directed toward going after those wealthiest Americans. And, again, GOP was against it. GOP continues to be against it. But they say that the IRS is finding that there's a lot of tax evasion among the highest earners. And Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said, in prepared remarks released ahead of a scheduled speech in Austin, Texas, for too long, this hadn't been happening. Between 2010 and 2018, the audit rate for millionaires fell by 80%. She said, and during the previous administration, as audit rates on high-income taxpayers fell, the share of audits on taxpayers with incomes under $200,000 did what? Increased. So you had a reduction in audit for the super rich, an increase in audits for those making under $200,000. So Yellen is pursuing 125,000 wealthy taxpayers who haven't filed taxes in years.
Years?
Yes.
Wow.
21,000 of those taxpayers have filed their returns over the last 6 months, paying $172 million in taxes. But they're after 125,000 of these people. And again, only 21,000 of those have filed their returns. So this is in response to an IRS announcement, and essentially the IRS saying, hey, we've noticed you haven't paid taxes for years. And we've also noticed that we now have the muscle to come after you. And that's how this is beginning to change. But when this is really just a crackdown, an IRS crackdown on roughly 80% of these millionaires with overdue taxes. So what you're finding, though, when you do all the arithmetic, is that $1.3 billion in unpaid taxes from rich Americans may come back to the coffers of the U.S. Treasury. Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.